afternoon and welcome to It's a Conversation with a Woman Filmmaker. I'm your host, Dr. Susan Getimo. This afternoon we host Suki Wanza. She'll be telling us who she is and what she does in the film industry. Welcome, Suki.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Even before we continue, who is Suki?
Suki is an actress, a performing artist. I sing, I think. Not in the bathroom though. I sing in my church choir. I teach. I teach at Kenyatta University, and I have also taught at the Multimedia University, teacher of theatre and film, and a love of life.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to acting, how did you find yourself acting?
Well, okay, we all say that we started when we were very young, right? I remember standing in front of the mirror when I was in primary school and really trying to enact some of the things I was seeing in the drama club, some of the music that we were being taught. And by the time I got to high school, so I didn't do much of acting in primary school, but when I got to high school, one of a very good friend of mine called Caro Midimo, who was our neighbor, was very excited to hear that we were going to the same school. And so, you know, she encouraged us to join the drama festival. She practically dragged me from class in the first week of Form 1. And, you know, we went for rehearsals, and I was just seated in the audience, minding my own business, and the teacher was looking for someone to act a part of a daughter, and he looked around and he saw me. "You, Form 1, get on stage!" And I'm like, wow.
Wow.
And, you know, I got on stage, and as we say, the rest is history.
So you started on stage.
I did.
And then how did you get to acting on film?
On film. In 2010, if I remember very well, I was working in Mombasa, and a friend of mine who's a great producer called Clifford Okomu had started his company Celestial Touch Media, and he was shooting a feature film called Kosa na Kosa, and he needed a few actors, and you know, we were talking, and he was like, "Hey, come over and do something." I had never acted in film before, but I was excited at the challenge. I was like, you know what, this is interesting. Let me go and see what is so different. And you know, needless to say, it wasn't so different. I had a lot of fun. It has very many takes. Take 1, take 2, you stop, you start. As opposed to theater, where once you've started, you have to just get to the end, right? So that was a difference. But I had fun doing it.
So how do you navigate between film and theater?
It's not difficult. It's of course, the first time you're doing it, you kinda have to be very conscious. And at times I ended up doing things which I would forget myself. I would forget, because I was so used to acting on stage. I would forget myself, and the director would like pull me back. And I remember when we were doing a TV show, and I was supposed to give someone the side eye. And I gave a serious big side eye, theater style. And the director came back and told me, no, the eye is for us. It's not for everyone else. You know, so you kind of forget, but they both have their strengths, their beautifulness. If that's a word, right? You get on film. It's, you know, you're very yourself. The normal voice. Normal actions. You don't have to like cram the whole script. Of course, you have to go through the whole script and understand yourself and understand the story, but you cram it as you go. You cram it as you film the different scenes, as opposed to theater, where you have to read, rehearse, and cram, you know, your whole lines, because you have to start acting from beginning to the end. Okay. So for both of them, there's a serenity to it. Yeah, you get to enjoy both differently. So both of them are very interesting, and both of them are very fulfilling, but in their different ways.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure our viewers are wondering, what productions have you featured in? So maybe you can share with us the exciting ones, the unforgettable ones.
2018, honestly, if you ask me, I think is my very beautiful year, because then I got to act in two very beautiful and unforgettable for me stage performances. One was Contract Love by Dr. Zipiokoff, and one was Too Early for Birds, Brazen Edition. That was written by some three phenomenal ladies, and it was a play about women, Kenyan women who have made a difference in Kenyan history. And it was acted by women, produced by women, directed, everything. And that, honestly, for me was a highlight. So after that, I appeared in Ma Empress. It's a TV program on Maisha Magic East that has done very well. And I've also been able to act with Njugush Creations or Creatives. And that has been a beautiful experience also. Yeah.
Now, other than acting, have you been engaged in any other roles in film production?
I have produced one or two, not much. I'm trying to delve in script writing and directing. So we have done the scenes, not scenes, short films we did with you. Just a scene where I was the director. That was like moving into the deep end, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed doing it. Yeah, so I think I have directed, I have produced, and I'm acting.
And talking of just a scene, since I also took the part of actress, and you would think that acting is easy. Actually, it's not easy.
It's not.
Yeah. So how do you prepare yourself to get into acting? Or you've been given a role, how do you prepare yourself?
One, of course, you have to go through the script just to understand what it is about, what is the theme, and then going over it with a fine tooth comb to understand your character and to understand your role in the whole production. What is your role? What are you supposed to do in the whole production? And then do a bit of research in terms of what is expected of your character. What is the time period that the play is appearing in? Is there anything significant that happened around the same time that you should know about? Is there anything to do with dressing, language that you are supposed to know? And so those are the things that usually help an actor get into the role. And then just having an introspective moment, thinking, if it was you, what would you do? Removing yourself from your person, Suki, and becoming your character. For example, Mama Zawadi. Crazy woman. In some instances, I always feel like there were instances of me in the character, but that is not me. That was her. But just knowing that this is the character and this is what is expected of her, and I should move into that so as to be able to be realistic to the audience.
Now, of course, we are seeing a lot more women directors and producers coming to the film industry. Have you worked with any woman producer, director, and how is it? How do you feel? How is the relationship anyway? Yeah.
Now, interestingly, apart from Kosa na Kosa, all other film experiences I've had have all been produced by women. Not directed by women, but have all been produced by women. Women are a force to reckon with in the Kenyan film industry. It's just that we don't know about it. At some point I wondered, are we being modest? Because you go on the internet and look for any mention of these women. Rarely will you do that. But check anytime a TV series or a film is when you read the credits, it's a woman's name that will appear either as a producer or even as a director, DOP, and you wonder, Allah, where are they when you try to read about them? I forgot a feature film we did called Midlife Crisis that was produced and directed by Dr. Zipiokoff. beautiful experience. Well, the women were able to, one, bring out the characters in the script, because it was the whole story was about midlife crisis in the face of women. Whenever we think of midlife crisis, men will always, you know, come up in the story, but we never think, what are women going through when you talk about midlife crisis? And the women played a very strong role as cast and crew of that production. So my take would be, women need to come out of, you know, come out in the limelight, come out from the shadows. Let's hear of them, let's see them. The beauty of that is they get to encourage a young filmmaker, or even just a young schoolgirl who is wondering, what am I going to do with my life? A young filmmaker who's wondering, is there life for me as a female in the film industry? Yeah, so we need to come out and actually, you know, speak for ourselves.
That's nice. Now, you've worked with Dr. Zipporah, and I know she's a very good friend of yours. When we are in the film industry, if you are my friend, I might call you in to come and work. We work together. So how was the relationship between the two of you?
Wow, that's very interesting. Zip is a very good friend of mine. You know, we laugh a lot and joke a lot. But when it comes to work, she's a very serious person. She's very focused. She knows what she wants. So I think at that particular point in time, we usually put friendship aside. You know, do what needs to be done. We at some point we don't see eye to eye. But at the end of the day, you realize it's for the goodness of the project. It's not for my own personal feelings. It's not for her own personal feelings. It's for the successful goodness of the project. And honestly, I can tell you, the few times we've worked together, at the end of the day, we're usually very happy with the outcome, in terms of, you know what, we did not allow friendship to get in the way of what we needed to do, of the objective.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you are a lecturer at Kenyatta University and multimedia, and you teach acting as well. So how do you feel like the education that is being given in the university, is it helping the actors and actresses in the field?
I think it is. And case in point is, we have, honestly, looking on the Kenyan film scene right now, every production, I want to say every production, has someone from Kenyatta University, whether cast or crew, right? The education experience has been able to open their eyes. You know, it is one thing coming to the university and saying, you know what, I want to be an actor. And then you get there, you realize, wait, film or theater is more than just acting. There are all these other departments that make up the whole acting experience, that make up the whole filmmaking experience. And so even when you're talking about acting, what kind of actor do you want to be? What legacy do you want to leave behind, right? It's not just about the kind of acting we did in school. It's much more. It's making yourself versatile to the acting industry, right? And I think that is one of the things they learn. Two, education in the universities in relation to film and theater opens up their eyes to these other departments. There's directing, there's production design, there's production as a producer itself, there is set design, there's costume and makeup, there's light, there's sound, there's, you know, stage design. And so they get to realize that there's much more that goes into making a successful film or a successful theater experience. And that is when, you know, it's because by the time they're coming to the university, they're still, you know, they're in their late teens, early young adult, and they're still growing. And, you know, it's when we are young and you're asked, what do you want to be? And you say, I want to be a doctor. And yet you can't stand the sight of blood. This is the moment where you get to the university with all these ideas, and then you realize, oh, wait, I'm actually good in something else. I know I came in as an actor, but I actually have realized I'm good in costume and makeup, you know, and you get to be linked to the industry players. You get to be linked to resources that will actually help you achieve your dream. So I think it is very, very important.
And also, still linking it to the education, there's still people who hold this notion that art does not pay. What is your idea towards that, being an actress and being in the industry?
Wow, that's a hard question. And I think it's a very controversial question, and probably my answer will be controversial, but art, like any other industry out there, whether someone is doing juakali business, it depends on the amount of effort you put in. We have quite a number of people in the Kenyan film industry who actually are able to sustain themselves on theater, on film, on the art scene, right? And art here, I also want to include visual artists, painters, dancers, right? If you do not put in if you don't put in the requisite effort, you will not gain from it. If you have a juakali stall and you don't work at, putting in a beautiful production, looking for, marketing your goods, looking for people who want to buy your goods, you will not make any money from it. Same thing with art. You have to improve yourself as an actor. We can't depend on, oh, I'm a good actor, you have to see me and get. It won't work. You have to improve yourself, gain skills, attend. We have master classes happening most of the time. Attend these master classes, network with some of these functions. Network with the people in the industry and get to see what have they done differently, right? We have quite a number of film festivals happening in the country. And of course, at this particular point in time, I'll mention one that I work very closely with, which is the Lake International Pan-African Film Festival. And it gives you an opportunity to be able to meet with other like-minded people, where you get to meet with people, share what they're doing, you share what you're doing. You never know, someone could actually be in need of whatever it is that you're doing. And then last but not least, improve your skill. You cannot just be an actor who cannot do anything else. Learn to cook. A show will ask, someone will say, we're looking for an actor who can cook. The other day I saw a casting call which said, we're looking for an actor who can sing, right? Learn. These are skills that can be built. Learn how to drive. Learn how to swim, right? And you never know, it might just come in handy. It will give you an edge over the other people who are also clamoring for the same space.
Okay. Now, talking of film festivals, you are a juror for the first Women in Film Award. Yes. And in the category of actress, what are you looking out for?
We were looking for one, the oomph. Does someone have, what makes them different from the others? That was one. Two, we were also looking for versatility. We realized there's some actors who are just, it's like they're usually typecasted for the same role, and it's like they don't put an effort to make it different. Where I can look at a role and see, I've seen Susan in 3 plays and she just looks the same, or I've seen Susan in 3 films and she just looks the same. But we were looking at that opportunity where if a script called for you to be different, did the actor rise up to the challenge? We were also looking at, I will not say productivity, because we have instances where some people have done 100 productions, others have only done 10, but they have done a good job. So, but we were looking also at, are you there? Are you there? Do people know you? Because one of the things about the WIFA Awards was, it was left for the audience to vote, right? So the audience nominated these actors. Women in Film Awards did not nominate anyone. The audience nominated these actors. A jury came together and selected the top 5, who were then presented back to the audience or back to the community for them to for them to select the winners. And so, of course, you know, how many people are known, and even in the section of being known, how many people are appreciated for their art. Yes, and I think that was especially for the actress position, that was very, very key. That it came out very clearly in terms of people appreciated actors who are versatile, yeah, and of course who are also good to work with.
Oh yeah. I think Women in Film Awards was just, for me, as the awards director, it was just, sometimes I like words to explain, yeah, because the way people turned out, the support, even that whole idea of appreciating a woman filmmaker.
Yeah, I think it was an idea whose time had come.
Yeah.
It was an idea whose time had come. We needed to appreciate women filmmakers. We needed to make them feel that what they were doing was not in vain.
Okay.
And we needed to put them out there so that others could be able to see that this thing is possible. Yeah, that in whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm appreciated, and I'm not doing it in vain.
Very true. Now, we did the Women in Film Awards, and then 2 weeks lockdown. So, how have you been coping with lockdown, working from home? How are you acting from home, actually?
Now, let me tell you, one of the things that people keep on saying is that you are a creative, you can create from anywhere. That is a paradox in itself. Is it a paradox or an oxymoron? As in, that could not be far from the truth. We need, creatives need a stimulus for them to create. And so for the first, I think, month or two, it was really difficult for people, especially creatives, to try and, you know, and move with the new normal. But, you know, as time moved on, people realized, how can I make the best out of the situation that I'm in? And so, you know, people have done short films, you know, small productions from their own home, using their phones, using, you know, a camera if they had any. And just a scene was a very good example, you know, which was done on phone. A few people, you know, maintaining social distance and all, and just being able to share the experiences that they were going through during this COVID period. We don't have to look outside. We don't have to look so far for the idea. The ideas are here with us. What are we going through, you know, in this COVID period? What are we feeling? What are some of the experiences that, you know, that we have encountered? The children are supposed to study from home. How easy is that? You know, I don't know. It's like children have a hold, you know, have a hold with their teachers. That's when a child will come home and tell you, no, teacher said, right? So now you're supposed to be teaching them in the house, and they're like, hey, mommy, you don't know, you know. And that can we be able to share that experience with the outside world, where, you know, you're a person who's supposed to be working from home, and you know, we have Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting, and, you know, you're expected to do so much. Can we also put that in film?
Very true.
You know, things like that. So in like a month or two past, people have realized that it is very therapeutic to also tell our stories in a small way from whatever, you know, we are doing in the house. That was one. Two, the government, thankfully, has come up with like a stimulus program where they have been able to disburse some funds to help actors in their production. So last week, the theatre component, which was managed by the Kenya National Theatre, was able to, you know, go around the country, or rather is still going around the country, helping creatives create their pieces, and at the same time being able to give them something small for their effort. Honestly, that is a commendable effort. Early this week, the Kenya Film Commission was able to release names of filmmakers that they have been able to award some money for them to produce film. So you see, it's not all gloom. The good things are coming from this period, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you talk about this money, when the president said that he's releasing this 100 million stimulus for artists, people would talk negatively about it.
Of course, we never believed that it would come through.
No. It's not the artists themselves.
Oh, okay.
The public. Like, artists do not deserve this money. You know. And then you realize that when you're stressed, when you're bored, where do you go to? You're either watching
Netflix,
a film,
TV, you're listening to radio, you're listening to your favorite musicians. All that is art.
Well, that is a conversation for another day.
Yes.
Now, before we end the show, there's someone out there who wants to get into acting and they don't know where to begin. What is your word for them?
One, be proactive. Be proactive. No one is going to bring you an opportunity in your house. Attend this. Let me just give an example of theater. Attend these theater productions. Get to see what others are doing. Get to see which production house is doing something that appeals to you, right? And in that period of time, get to know who are the people behind these productions, and just network, with them. I know a friend of mine called Agnes who is very aggressive in meeting these opportunities, and she'll come to you and tell you, know what, it's fine. I'll come and be a set runner. I'll come and just iron the clothes for the actors. But in so doing, she has been endearing herself to the filmmaker. She has been making herself known. That early this year, she had actually gotten a role in a very good theater production, and she did a fabulous job. She is actually a production manager or a producer in one of the best film companies we have in Kenya, Philip, and she's doing a really good job about it. So get to know who is in the industry, and then get to talk to them, get to network. That is one. Two, as I said earlier, improve your skill. Which brings another topic which I know we don't want to discuss, is an actor born or made, right? And so we cannot just sit on the fact that I am a born actor, I can do this. Oh yeah, there are also other 100 born actors who are also in the same position. What gives you an edge? What makes you different from them? Okay. Gain a skill, right? Then attend these master classes, attend workshops, listen during the panel discussions, and just get to see what are people saying out there. What is making sense right now? What made sense 5 years ago is not what is making sense now, right? The style of acting or style of production that made sense 5 years ago is not in vogue right now. So we need to update ourselves like a phone.
That is very
every
true.
other time. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for coming and for sharing with us. And thank you, our viewer. Please join us every Wednesday for this show on our Facebook pages, NIMPA Digital Media, Women in Film Awards, and Beyond the Film. Thank you.